Hello viewers and welcome to News in TV. I am Makanaka Masenyama. Stories making the headlines. Parliament reverses walkaway MDC allowances. In the courts, Econet drags RBZ to court over Agents Lions ban. In sports, Caetano Tempo set for new Supersport United deal. News in detail. Parliament has reversed $17,000 allowances paid to opposition MDC MPs following their decision to walk out on President Emmerson Mnangagwa's joint State of the Nation and official opening of the second session of the 9th Parliament on Tuesday. This was revealed by Speaker of the House of Assembly Jacob Mudenda as soon as Mnangagwa made his way out of the gallery after delivering his speech. Mudenda added that he will be engaging the Finance Ministry to stop payment of their allowances of the past 5 months. On Monday, Parliament surprisingly processed allowances owed to all parliamentarians, with some critics arguing it was a move to silence the opposition MPs. MDC party spokesperson Daniel Molokele said they still do not recognize Mnangagwa as legitimate leader of Zimbabwe, and that is the reason his party's MPs walked out, leaving the ZANU-PF leader to address his party's representatives.
As the MDC, we still do not recognize E.D. Mnangagwa as the president of this country. The election result for that presidential election was not the will of the people of Zimbabwe. So the process that made him president is what we are disputing as the MDC.
It is the second time MDC MPs have walked out on Mnangagwa, who just came from a humiliating outing at the UN General Assembly meeting in New York, where he addressed an almost empty auditorium. However, speaking to newzimbabwe.com after the drama, ZANU-PF Chief Whip Pupuraito Garepi said MDC is playing childish politics.
You don't walk out on Parliament or on the President when he is addressing. Then later on come back to debate the same speech, the same legislative agenda. You see where the confusion is. They are playing politics, but politics without depth.
Barely a week after United Nations Special Rapporteur Clement Vaole delivered a damning report on Zimbabwe's state of human rights, President Emmerson Mnangagwa has set up a special team to look into violence that has rocked the country since last year. Mnangagwa, who is struggling to convince the West that he is leading a new dispensation that respects people's basic rights and shake off his predecessor's Robert Mugabe's tattered image, told Parliament Tuesday that his administration will set up an interministerial task force to investigate the issues. Some 60 civilians were gunned down by the military on August 1 last year after protests broke out in Harare, with suspected MDC supporters demanding that the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission releases presidential elections 2 days after voting ended. 17 more civilians were killed by the army in January during a 3-day national shutdown triggered by a 150% fuel hike announced by Mnangagwa. Abductions of opposition political players and human rights defenders have further worsened his image. President Emmerson Mnangagwa honored the late national hero and former President Robert Mugabe by observing a moment of silence before he began his State of the Nation address. Speaking at the official opening of the second session of the 9th Parliament of Zimbabwe, Mnangagwa requested legislators to rise for a brief meditation in celebration of the life of the late former president. Mugabe died early September, aged 95, in Singapore, where he was receiving cancer treatment. In the courts, Cassava Smart Tech Zimbabwe Limited, which operates EcoCash money transfer, has approached the High Court with an urgent chamber application seeking to nullify the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe's directive to ban cash-in and cash-out transactions immediately. The decision was made on Monday and immediately resulted in some semblance of normalcy on the currency rates, especially the parallel market. Through its lawyers, Nyambirai and Mutetwa legal practitioners, Cassava said the move would drive majority of Zimbabweans into extreme poverty and highly inconvenience millions of subscribers. The lawyers also submitted that this will cost their client business. Seeking temporary interdict to suspend the shutdown, the lawyers said what the central bank did was unlawful. Cash in and out facilities was halted Monday afternoon following a huge outcry from the public who accused EcoCash agents of daylight robbery. The agents were charging up to 60% per transaction, which has seen price hikes of almost everything. The case is yet to be set down for hearing. We end with sports. Former Zimbabwe and Dynamo's defense stalwart Kaitano Tembo could be set for a new deal at South African Super Discus side SuperSport United if he can guide his ambitious Johannesburg best side to the MTN 8 Cup title, which they face Highlands Park at Orlando Stadium on Saturday. The well-respected Zimbabwean tactician is in the final year of his 2-year contract with SuperSport United, but according to the club's chief executive officer, Stan Matthews, Tempo's contract renewal depends on how he performs. Tempo's mandate is to secure a top 4 finish in the Premier Soccer League and win 1 cup tournament with the team. Matthews promised Tempo will keep his job at the 3-time PSL champions if he fulfills the demands during the current campaign. If Tempo is awarded a new contract, he would have succeeded in providing some stability at SuperSport, who have tried a number of coaches since Gavin Hunt left the club in 2013. Reporting for newszimbabwe.com, I am Makanaka Masengema. For this and more stories, visit our website www.newszimbabwe.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel, News TV.